Happy Monday, and welcome to another episode of Cases That Should Have Gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. Today we're talking about collateral consequences in sentencing. Cases that should have gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. A man in British Columbia was convicted of certain crimes. He was sentenced, and then after his sentencing moved to the United States and applied for permanent resident status there. Unfortunately, on the basis of his convictions in Canada, his permanent residence application was denied. He was not eligible for permanent residency status in the United States. As a result of this, he appealed his convictions, which were based upon a guilty plea, arguing that he was not properly informed of the collateral consequences associated with the plea. And the question arose about whether a collateral consequence of not being allowed to move to another country is a legally relevant consequence. And this case raises very important issues. Since the Supreme Court of Canada has decided that collateral consequences need to be explained to an individual and understood by an individual before they plead guilty, more certainty about what actually constitutes a legally relevant collateral consequence would be beneficial. The courts have generally analyzed legally relevant collateral consequences as a variety of things, and there's inconsistent case law developing across the nation about whether certain types of consequences associated with a criminal conviction are actually legally relevant collateral consequences. Not only would this give more guidance to lawyers in their ethical obligations to fully inform their clients of their guilty pleas, and to sentencing judges to ensure that when they're inquiring with somebody about their guilty plea, that they're fully informed as to the consequences, but it would also allow accused individuals to not have to expend the effort and expense associated with bringing appeals or applications to withdraw guilty pleas in circumstances like this. It's unfortunate that the Supreme Court of Canada hasn't engaged in a more fulsome analysis of what actually constitutes a legally relevant collateral consequence on sentencing to give better guidance to the courts below and to help to sort out a lot of the inconsistent case law that's been developing. Inevitably, there will be another case that goes to the Supreme Court of Canada addressing this issue, but in the meantime, a lot of people are going to be left in the dark. Cases that should have gone to the Supreme Court of Canada, but didn't. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Cases That Should Have Gone to the Supreme Court of Canada but Didn't. I'm Kyla Lee at Acumen Law Corporation. Thank you to Brazenbull Creative for putting together these videos. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends.